wait. Wish to form a company and become member of it.
Okay, memorandum of association, a simple document. Number one, which states that the subscribers wish to form a company. Number two, and become members of it. Number three. So these are the 3 points. Ms. Rimsha, can you please shut the door? A lot of noise is coming. So now, before Companies Act 2006, the Memorandum of Association was an extremely important document containing information concerning the relationship between the company and the outside world. For example, its aims, purpose, objectives, etc. So when you hear the word Memorandum of Association, what must come to your mind? First of all, these 3 points which are given over here: simple document, and it states the members who are subscribers of the company who wish to form the company and become members of it. And finally, it also states the aim and the purpose of the company, the mission of the company, what is the objective, why the company has formed. Company's constitution. Now, what is a company's constitution? It comprises of the articles of association and resolutions and agreements it makes which affect the constitution. Now, articles of association, whenever you hear this word articles of association, it should come to your mind on the spot that it means the constitution of the company. Just like we have constitution for the country, our parliament makes it the same way. Articles of association is the constitution for a company so that it can work harmoniously and following the rules and regulations. The articles of association might also be stating that when the company will be wound up, when will the company's life get over, okay, what will be the conditions when the company must be wound up. So articles of association in detail states the constitution, that means states the laws, rules, principles, how to hire the employee, how to fire the employee, how to hire the directors, how to fire the directors, and so on and so forth. Detailed operating laws. Next, resolutions and agreements. In addition to the main constitutional document, resolutions and agreements also form part of company's constitution. All right, of course, there is article of association, but there is also an extra document which is known as resolution and agreements, and which could be anything, any kind of agreement, any kind of pre-incorporation contract, any kind of agreement, contracts, and so on and so forth, which the company feels that it is required to be attached with the articles of association. And what does it say? That copies should be sent to the registrar within 15 days of being passed or agreed. So registrar must be informed about each and everything they do in the company. Okay. Kinza, please read the articles of association.
The articles of association consist of the internal rules that relate to the management and administration of the company.
Okay, so
just like F3, it's F2, it's internal management. So article of association is also internal. It's not for any other purpose.
right. Content of the articles, what would be there? Ali, are you there? Please read.
Yes, ma'am. Content of article: appointment and dismissal of director, communication with members like power, responsibility, and liabilities of director, director meetings, general meetings, members' right, dividend.
Dividends. So the content will include all of this: communication with members, how to be communicated, how communication should happen in the company, class meetings, issue of shares, transfer of shares, documents and records, and company secretary. All of this will be mentioned in the article, so you can see that how detailed these articles would be. Model articles. What's a model
Recording
article?
in progress.
Kinza, please read and explain. Do not read
Rather
it
than
loud. Do not read it loud. Read it in your mind and then explain. What is model articles?
Done, ma'am.
Done. Please explain.
Model articles are like formats which we can use. We are not bound to use a specific format. Whatever is useful for us, we can use that. Like for example, if we are in a medical field, of course, we'll be having a different format as compared to the other industries. So according to our own nature of business, and even we can amend it. If we want to make any changes to a specific format, we can even do that. It's allowed. It's kind of a safety net for us. We don't have to write and make a format every time on our own. We can just use any other already made. We can just customize it according to us.
Okay.
Ma'am, I didn't get this article.
Model article is
What is it?
basically what did you understand that the company, for example, you have gone to the registrar to start a company, okay, and you are completely new,
Mhm.
and you have no idea, or maybe you have no time to create an article of association for the company. So what does the government do? The government has made it easier that they have already created some model articles. Model articles, exemplary or sample articles, which can be used by every company. Okay, so there's no need for you to make it from scratch. You can customize it, you can add on to it, you can deduct some of the things from it. So the basic model is ready for use and anyone can adopt it.
Okay. Basic drafting of like memorandum of association, like by default.
No, not memorandum of association. I'm talking about model articles, article of association. If you don't
Article
have,
of association.
yes, article of
Yes, yes.
association is a constitution of the company. Okay, and if that's not ready, then the government already state provides it. Alteration of the articles. Ali.
The article may be altered by a special resolution. The basic test is whether the alteration is for benefit of the company as a whole.
Yes. So what are they saying? The articles may be altered by a special resolution. That means if you have article of association and you need to alter it, after 5 years, maybe you think that, okay, this point is not working for us, let's change it. Let's remove it or let's add another point. You can't do it that easily, okay? It's not a peanuts play, okay? You have to pass a special resolution in order to be able to
With
do it. And
majority of votes,
special resolution
75.
means a written resolution, a written agreement signed with a 75% majority. And then you have to send it to the registrar within 15 days. Clear till here? All set?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, move ahead. Making the company's constitution unalterable. Is this possible? Can be?
Might
Should
be.
we?
Yes, can be.
But should we make it
No,
unalterable?
No.
only the basic ones. Fundamental
Why?
ones.
They should be allowed to change whatever they're with time. They obviously can change. So with time, I think they should be allowed.
अगर आसानी से अलाउ कर देंगे तो उसके नुकसानात क्या हो सकते हैं?
फिर तो बहुत फ्रीक्वेंटली लोग जैसे ही अपना चीजें होंगी फौरन फौरन से चेंज भी कर रहे होंगे.
Yeah.
Exactly.
अपने
As soon
हिसाब
as
से.
one director will leave, a new director will come. He will try to
Exactly.
change
Will
the
make their
entire
own
thing.
policies, own constitutions.
Just like it happens in the government, that another party comes
Yeah.
and starts making its own new laws, and it starts, unaccepting the old previous laws made by the previous government. So there are devices by which some provisions of the company's constitution can be made unalterable. Some of them which you feel that it's very important and should not be changed at any point in time. So those can be made unalterable unless the member who wishes to prevent any alteration consents. अगर वो बंदा जो नहीं चाह रहा कि ये चेंज हो, वो अगर अग्री कर जाए कि अच्छा ठीक है चलो कर लो चेंज, तो फिर तो हो सकता है. मगर कुछ प्रोविजंस को कंप्लीटली प्रोहिबिट किया जा सकता है कि भाई ये तो बिल्कुल भी अनऑल्टर्ड, ये तो बिल्कुल भी ऑल्टर नहीं हो सकती. So the articles may give a member additional votes so that they can block a resolution to alter articles on particular points. So this may happen. Articles may provide that when a meeting is held to vote on a proposed alteration of the articles, the quorum must be present, must include the member concerned. जिसके हवाले से वो पॉइंट छेड़ा जा रहा है या चेंज किया जा रहा है और वो मेंबर राजी नहीं है तो उसका भी वहां उस कोरम में मौजूद होना बेहद जरूरी है. व्हाट इज अ कोरम? व्हाट्स अ
A meeting
Platform.
where their discussion.
A quorum is when you call a meeting, okay, and there are a lot of members in the company, okay, and for example 50 members are there, okay, and you called a meeting of 50 members. Quorum means the meeting will only happen if at least 10 are present. That the company decides for itself that we will conduct the meeting if even 5 are present. We will conduct the meeting if even 10 are present. What is the minimum quorum? But if only 2 are present, then the meeting will be postponed.
Okay.
The meeting cannot happen with only 2 members. So the minimum number of members who should be present in the meeting is known as the quorum. Who must be present in the meeting in order for the meeting to be conducted.
Okay.
Next, the Act permits companies to entrench provisions in their articles. This means specific provisions may only be amended or removed if certain conditions are met, which are more restrictive than a special resolution, such as agreement of all the members. However, such entrenched provisions cannot be drafted so that the articles can never be amended or removed. क्या कह रहे हैं?
Means some of the articles should be amended by time, like should be allowed to change, and some should be keep
Entrenched
restrictive.
entrenched provisions का क्या मतलब है? Entrenched provisions का मतलब है कि for example, I might say that okay, if you as students want the class, the course to be frozen, आप लोग चाह रहे हो कि कोर्स फ्रीज हो जाए और अगले साल पढ़ना चाहते हैं, ठीक है? तो मैंने कहा बिकॉज ऐसे अगर मैं हर एक को अलाउ करूंगी then what will happen, students will start demanding अच्छा पेमेंट कर दी, अब now they are frozen. Now my slots will be, I will be bound, I will be always forever bound. कब तक? मुझे कोई तो लिमिटेशन सेट करनी पड़ेगी, कोई तो कंडीशंस लगानी पड़ेगी. Now this means entrenched provisions that when I am going to set some conditions that okay, you want the course to be frozen till when? We cannot, you cannot freeze the course for more than 3 months. After 3 months, either you take the classes or then you let it go and it's finished, done, then I'm not liable. Okay. Second condition, why do you want the course to be frozen? It has to be a valid reason. If I find it to be a valid reason, I would say okay, let's freeze it. Third, I can put the condition that okay, if you want me to freeze, if you want me to really freeze your course, then you have to take all the classes when you return. You cannot miss even a single class. You cannot say that I'm absent or today I just could not come. They can't, you won't be given any more allowances for being absent. So these are the conditions which I would be setting if you want to freeze the course. The same way, if anybody wants to change the articles of association or especially some of the rules in the articles of association, then some conditions are entrenched, are put. Without those conditions being met, the act won't be changed. The particular rules won't be changed. Restrictions on alteration. What are the restrictions on alteration? The alteration is void if it conflicts with the Companies Act or with general law. Please read, Kinza.
The alteration is void if it conflicts with the Company Act or a general law. In various circumstances, such as to protect a minority, the court may order that an alteration made, or alternatively, that an existing article shall not be altered. If the court, if there is any issue between the minorities, the rights of the minorities are not being put properly, then the court can order they can alter the articles. An existing member may not be compelled by alteration of the article to subscribe for additional shares or to accept increased liability for the shares which they hold unless they have given their consent. If you have already given shares to the shareholders, then now you cannot change your policies because it's already been done and they have been subscribed. Now you cannot, add up different things in the same constitution. An alteration of the article which varies the rights attached to a class of shares may only be if the correct right variation procedure has been followed to obtain the consent of class. A 15% minority may apply to court to cancel the variation. If, for example, we are just talking about that, okay, fine, we are just getting 75% of share and we are agreeing to whatever is happening, it's not the case. We also have to consider about the minorities. If the minority is voting till 15%, even then the court will do the variations and will do the procedures. A person whose contract is contained in the article cannot obtain an injunction to prevent the article being altered, but they may be entitled to damages for breach of contract. Alteration cannot take away rights already acquired by performing the contract. If it's already the contract is being made and we are just performing the duties, the alteration cannot be, we cannot do the make the alterations. And on the other hand, if anything goes wrong, the person has to pay the damages. An alteration may be void in the majority who proves it proves it are not acting bona fide in which they deem to be the interested of the company as a interest of a company as a whole.
All right. क्या बात समझ आ रही है? What are you understanding? Restrictions on alterations. There are some restrictions on alterations. Is restriction number 1? क्या समझ रहे हैं?
if like restriction number 1 मतलब कि कंपनी के लॉ के खिलाफ अगर कोई बात हो तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली जो है वो रिस्ट्रिक्शन आ जाती है और कोई अल्टरनेशन नहीं हो सकती.
Exactly. If it is conflicting with the Companies Act and the Companies Act has been made by whom?
Company Act is made by like वो
law, general law.
By the government,
Association.
by the given by the law. Okay. So conflicts अगर उससे टकरा रहे हैं, कोई alteration उसको violate कर रहे हैं, it is void. Number 1. Number 2, Ali.
लाइक माइनॉरिटीज के राइट भी आपको जो है ना सेफ कर देखने पड़ेंगे. ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर 75% शेयर्स आपको मिल गए या 75% कंसेंट मिल गया तो आप चेंज कर लो. वो बाकी जो है वो भी इनको भी माइंड में रखना चाहिए कि वो कंप्लीटली अगेंस्ट ना हो.
You can't oppress a minority by changing or altering the articles. Number 3.
Yes. लाइक जो पहले से जो उनके मेंबर्स थे, they are not they can be forced to have this change, but then they cannot be forced to have this change, but the new can be.
Okay, existing members can't be forced to take more shares, to subscribe more shares. Okay, they can't be forced. और उनको force करने के लिए आपने articles में कोई नई शर्त निकाल ली, आप ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. Sorry. जो कानून आप चेंज करना चाह रहे हो जिससे कि हर मेंबर को
न्यू कॉन्ट्रैक्टर और न्यू शेयर होल्डर्स
पड़े, not allowed. You can't add that to the articles. You can't alter the articles because of that reason. Okay. Then 4th, Ali.
Fourth one is you have to like proceed with the right procedure, like with the steps that has been given by the law. So moreover, you should have like majority of the like shareholders, even if they are not with you, they must not be against with you as well. So if a ratio of 15% is there, then they can like have the court cancel that resolution.
So what are they?
मैम इसकी ये भी एग्जांपल हो सकती है, लाइक अगर हम women और men की वोटिंग करा रहे हैं, women हैं ही 15 और men 75 हैं, तो we can say okay 50% जिसके वोट ज्यादा होंगे they will get the authority, so obviously men will get the authority. So they are saying कि अगर minority छोटी है तो वो उसको भी 50% मिलते हैं हमें उसके वोट्स, तो हम उसकी चीजें उस तरह अलाइन करेंगे, ना कि हम एग्जैक्ट रेशो से वो करेंगे.
सर मैं क्लास में Sir, so what am I saying? That an alteration of the articles which varies the rights attached to a class of shares may only be made if the correct rights variation procedure has been followed to obtain the consent of the class. A 15% minority may apply to the court to cancel the variation. अब इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि भाई women 15% हैं तो उनको भी 50% राइट मिलेगा. No, it means I am the director in the company, okay, and I wish to alter the articles of association in such a way which would take away the rights of the women to work during pregnancy. Okay, are you getting the point? That's the alteration that I want to do as a director in the articles of association. Do you think it is for the minority or against the minority?
For, in favor of the minority.
Is it in favor? If
Yeah, they will be able to, they will get the jobs and they'll be able to work.
that's what I'm saying, that I, as a director, I want to change the articles and put in the
Okay,
that
no,
the
no,
women
it's
are not allowed to do the job during pregnancy.
against, yeah.
So this condition is against, and therefore it can be stopped by whom? By the minority.
Law.
If they apply, if they are even if they are 15% and they apply to the court to cancel the variation, go ahead.
Okay, got the point.
They will be heard. The articles will not be altered.
Okay,
Fifth point, a person whose contract is contained in the articles cannot obtain an injunction to prevent the articles being altered, but they may be entitled to damages for breach of contract. Alteration cannot take away rights already acquired by performing the contract. क्या कह रहे हैं? What are they saying?
ये वही बोल रहा है कि अपने हिसाब से अगर चेंज करने लग जाए तो कुछ भी करना हो वो चेंज कर लेंगे, तो फिर डैमेजेस भी होंगे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स के. जो भी चीज़ वो करना चाहें अगेंस्ट द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वो चेंज करें और वो देन अप्लाई करना.
Tell me one thing, what do you understand by this word injunction? We have studied this already.
Injunction means to put in, like inject something.
Injunction to put in, to
take out.
Take out.
okay, it is a way where court interferes and says, stop, you can't do this. Injunction means the court is interfering.
Warning of court, right?
Yeah, the court is interfering and it can only do two things. Number one, it can either stop, make the person stop from taking the action,
Something.
or it can force the person to take some action. Now, when will the court, or in which terminology, when the court will stop and when the court will give force to do, कि आप ये करो, you have to do it. You remember that promissory estoppel?
Yes, ma'am.
In promissory estoppel, the court sends the orders to stop doing it. कदम आगे
Yeah,
नहीं
to
बढ़ाना,
seize the actions.
खामोश, यही रुक जाओ. And in injunction, करो जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में है करो, नहीं तो भुगतोगे. ठीक है, तो क्लियर है दोनों, injunction and the estoppel. So over here it is being said that articles of association में बाज़ औक़ात contracts भी मौजूद होते हैं, और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स दो पार्टीज के बीच में होते हैं, पार्टी ए पार्टी बी. तो अगर पार्टी ए ने कुछ गड़बड़ कर रहा है तो पार्टी बी कोर्ट जाके इंजंक्शन ले सकता है कोर्ट से. यस, बट ये जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आर्टिकल्स में मौजूद है इसके लिए इंजंक्शन नहीं होगा, इसके लिए इंजंक्शन नहीं लिया जा सकता. इसके लिए क्या होगा, लेट द पार्टी ब्रीच, उसको डैमेजेस पे करने पड़ेंगे. इसमें कोर्ट इंटरफेयर करके इंजंक्शन नहीं करवा सकती। क्यों? क्योंकि ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कहाँ पे है? आर्टिकल्स में है, और आर्टिकल्स तो कंपनी का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन होता है, तो कंपनी इटसेल्फ इज अ बिग बॉडी एंड यू नो इट कैन इट हैज टू फॉलो इट्स आर्टिकल्स। एंड अगर कोई भी शख्स उस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को नहीं फॉलो कर रहा, सो दे विल गेट द डैमेजेस, बट इंजंक्शन इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल ओवर हियर, and especially an injunction to prevent the articles being altered. That means हम अगर एज अ पार्टी ए कोर्ट में जाके क्लेम करें कि भाई ये मेरे साथ ज्यादती हो रही है, कोर्ट बाबू जरा आप इंजंक्शन करो, आर्टिकल्स को चेंज होने से रोको, तो इस केस में कोर्ट कुछ नहीं कर सकता, इंजंक्शन नहीं होगा, इंजंक्शन नहीं हो सकता। ठीक, नेक्स्ट, an alteration may be void if the majority who approve it are not acting bona fide. What does this mean?
Unitedly?
बोनाफाइड का क्या मतलब है ना? द केस लॉ ऑन द बोनाफाइड टेस्ट। बोनाफाइड का मतलब है टू एक्ट इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द कंपनी एज अ होल, टू एक्ट इन द
To
इंटरेस्ट,
own the company as a whole, as a team, not as an individual.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। तो पूरे कंपनी के लिए क्या बेहतर डिसीजन रहेगा वो सामने रखते हुए फैसला करना। Next, the case law on the bona fide test is an effort to hold the balance between two principles. Number one, the majority are entitled to alter articles, even though a minority considers that the alteration is prejudicial to its interest. A minority is entitled to protection against an alteration which is intended to benefit the majority rather than the company, and which is unjustified discrimination against the minority. क्या मतलब? केस लॉ ऑन बोनाफाइड क्या कहता है? टेस्ट कैसे दो प्रिंसिपल्स पे बेस करते हैं? व्हाट आर दोस टू प्रिंसिपल्स? किंजा,
The majority are entitled or altered articles.
पढ़ लीजिए तसल्ली से दोनों और फिर समझाइए।
Majority are entitled to alter the articles.
Shall I go with?
No minority to protect against an alteration, which is intended to benefit a
Yes, ma'am.
minority. Just
They're saying
जी
I'm
Yes,
just
ma'am.
saying that if,
नहीं समझ आया?
Yeah.
आ गया मैम.
समझाएं।
They're saying that if like for example the majority has to make the changes in the article, even though if the minority is feeling insecure and they're thinking that they are being this is discrimination, and but whatever it is, but we have to make sure that the company in the decision is in the favor of the company, not just we are just taking up the rights of the minority and just making up the decisions.
बिल्कुल। तो मेजोरिटी अगर एंटाइटल्ड, मतलब मेजोरिटी कैन टेक द डिसीजन टू अल्टर द आर्टिकल्स इवन दो कि माइनॉरिटी उससे अग्री नहीं कर रही, सिर्फ उस शर्त में वो नहीं कर सकते कि जब वाकई में उनके साथ ज्यादती हो रही हो या उनके इंटरेस्ट को स्टेक
राइट्स उनके,
ठीक है।
Discrimination हो रहा हो. Yes.
A minority is entitled to protection, of course, which is intended to benefit the majority rather than the company, and which is unjustified discrimination. यानी वो कह रहे हैं कि माइनॉरिटी को आप उसी शर्त में इग्नोर कर सकते हो कि जब आपको ये बात मालूम हो अच्छे से कि बेनिफिट किसका है, कंपनी का, नॉट।
अब जैसे कोल कंपनी है, अब वो बोले नहीं जी वुमेन को भी राइट दें, तो ऑब्वियसली दे हैव टू मेक श्योर कि दे कैन नॉट डू इट इन दैट फील्ड, so it is justifiable, so it's not a discrimination.
Exactly, and it's very unfair because we as women know that pregnancy is not a disease. It's but very much
Yeah.
normal, and till 8 months, it's completely fine to work. Nothing happens, right?
Yeah.
Next, the principle B tends to be restricted to cases where the majority seeks to expel the minority from the company. Now, ठीक है, ये तो वही वाली बात होगी. Okay, now one thing that they say means though there are two propositions about the test, about which test, the bona fide test. They say that the bona fide test is the benefit for the company as a whole. Very good, agreed, but it's a single test. Number one problem. Number two problem, it is a subjective test. That means Ali might think that it is beneficial for the entire company, but Kinza might think that no, it's not beneficial for the entire company, it's only beneficial
It's
for
a debatable.
you.
Yeah, it's a debatable.
You are taking this decision for your own sake. You just want to, and you, why are you thinking that this is in the benefit for the whole company? So it's
Yeah.
subjective. It's number one single, one test, there is no other test, and number two, it is subjective, and therefore it is creating some limitations. Now, the company as a whole means what? As a whole means what? अली को लग रहा है कि 80% लोग मेल है, तो मेल अगर 80% लोगों का फायदा है तो मतलब पूरी कंपनी का फायदा है, उसको ये बात लग रही है. Whereas Kinza is thinking, no, company ka faida means 100% of the people, whoever comes there, any human that is working there, feels that yes, ye company ke faide ki baat. So the company as a whole means what? In the context of general body of shareholders, in the context of customers, in the context of suppliers, in the
Exactly.
context of whom? In the context of
True.
directors. Ali might take it in another way and you might take it in another way. Expulsion of minorities. Expulsion of minorities. What does this mean? Expulsion means what?
Expulsion basically
Excluding the rights of majorities, taking them out, not considering them.
Expulsion cases means there are some special cases or unusual cases.
Exceptions.
Yeah, exceptions. Now,
exceptions.
alteration of articles for the purpose of removing a director from the office. Okay, this might happen once in a blue moon. कि कोई ऐसा खड़ूस डायरेक्टर, ऐसा चिपकू डायरेक्टर के जिसको हम निकाल ही नहीं पा रहे हैं और जो कंपनी के लिए नुकसानदेह है और जो गलत फैसले लिए जा रहे हैं, हाउ टू गेट रिड ऑफ हिम. सो दे आर
बहुत टॉक्सिक है लोगों के लिए, लोग टीम एज अ टीम काम नहीं उससे कराया जा रहा.
exactly. Alteration of the articles to permit a majority of members to enforce a transfer to themselves of shareholding of a minority. What does this mean? That you are going to alter the articles to permit, to give permission to a majority of members to enforce a transfer to themselves of the shareholding of a minority. यानी अब क्या है, minority 10% है, ठीक है, and minority हो सकता है खवातीन हो सकता है कुछ स्पेशली एबल्ड पीपल हो सकता है कि कुछ कोई पर्टिकुलर रिलीजन के लोग हों, ट्राइब के लोग हों. तो अब ये 90% ऑफ द पीपल, व्हाट आर दे सेइंग? दे आर सेइंग दैट ओके, वी वुड बी ऑल्टरिंग द आर्टिकल्स इन सच अ वे कि जो ये 10% के पास शेयर होल्डिंग राइट्स है ना, तो किसी तरह हमारे पास आ जाए. Somehow they are planning something, so that they're planning to alter the articles in such a way that they don't even realize and their shares are transferred to the majority group of people. So that is also another case. The action of the majority in altering articles to achieve expulsion will generally be treated as valid, even though if it is discriminatory. Very important statement for you guys to remember for your MCQs. यानी कि ये एक्सपल्शन माइनॉरिटीज, ये एक्सेप्शंस, ये ऐसी चीजें, ये वो दो पॉइंट्स हैं which will be treated as valid even though if it sounds discriminatory, even if the majority were concerned to benefit the company or remove some detriment to its interest. If on the other hand the majority was blatantly seeking to secure an advantage to themselves by their discrimination, the alteration made to articles by their voting control of the company will be invalid. तो ये दोनों अहम मुद्दे सामने आ गए. कौन से? पहला मुद्दा कि कब वैलिड ट्रीट किया जाएगा और कब इनवैलिड ट्रीट किया जाएगा. क्लियर? Ali, is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Filing of
A little bit confusion, like कि like mix हो रहा है थोड़ा सा.
बताओ, पूछो क्या चीज.
यानी कि यहाँ पे भी वही बात कह रहे हैं ना कि एज ए कंपनी होल अगर फायदा हो तो बेशक डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी हो वो फिर भी फॉलो अप होगा.
देखो, अभी हम पॉइंट नंबर 1 को सामने रखते हैं. As a director, Ali is a director and he
डायरेक्टर हटाना है तो हो जाएगा, ठीक है.
if I choose, I say that नहीं, अली अच्छा डायरेक्टर नहीं है, इसको निकालो. ये ना औरतों के लिए कुछ ज्यादा ही स्ट्रिक्टनेस कर रहे हैं कि प्रेगनेंसी में काम नहीं कर सकती और ये
ठीक है.
इस तरह इस सिचुएशन में नहीं हो सकता, ये नहीं हो सकता और
हम्म,
पेड लीव नहीं मिलेगी, पेड मैटरनल ब्रेक नहीं मिलेगा, ठीक है, नो
सही
पेड.
है.
तो इस तरह के आप ऑल्टरेशन करना चाह रहे हो तो किंजा एंड आई आर थिंकिंग अबाउट इट कि भाई क्या करना चाहिए. इसको रिमूव कर देते हैं, इसको हटा देते हैं, मगर कैसे हटाएं, क्या बोल के हटाएं. अली तो क्वालिफाइड भी है, अली तो काम भी कर रहा है, अली तो बेहतरीन
सही.
डायरेक्टर भी है, कोई ऐसी बात नहीं, कंपनी प्रॉफिट भी कमा रहा है, सब कुछ है. फिर अली को क्या बोल के हटाएं. तो वी बोथ आर थिंकिंग ऑफ अ प्लान टू ब्रिंग एन ऑल्टरेशन इन द आर्टिकल्स, ताकि आर्टिकल्स में ऑल्टरेशन आ जाएगी तो उसी कंडीशन के ऊपर आपको निकाल दिया जाएगा.
ठीक है.
ऑलराइट. अब बजाहिर हाउ इज इट साउंडिंग टू यू? इज इट साउंडिंग फेयर टू यू कि एक आपको निकालने के लिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में जाके ऐसा कानून बनाया जा रहा है ताकि आपको निकाल दिया जाए? हालांकि आप केपेबल,
और
आप क्वालिफाइड हो, आप ईमानदारी से काम कर रहे हो, सब कुछ है. डू यू थिंक इट्स फेयर?
इट कुड बी. यस.
It could be. On what condition could it be fair?
Like if like other than Ginza, if for example the other feels the same, the other minorities feel the same, then it should be.
नहीं तो हो सकता है ना किंजा और मैंने टीम अप कर लिया हो बिकॉज वी आर वुमेन. Maybe your decision is better and your decision is in the benefit of the entire company. But I and Kinza have teamed up to bring in alteration into the constitution of the company so that you can be removed specific.
Yeah. If there are like more than one person and like feeling the same thing, then it should be.
भाई फील तो किंजा ने किया था, मैं तो उसका साथ दे रही हूँ बस.
कर तो सकते हैं करना.
करना चाहिए. अगर करने
Yes, ma'am.
तो
तो क्यों करना चाहिए? बस चूंकि
अगर सारी विमेन मिलके एक सही बंदे के पीछे पड़ जाएंगे कि इसको निकालो क्योंकि विमेन का राइट नहीं कर रहा एंड ही इज डूइंग वेरी राइट स्टफ फॉर द कंपनी, तो ऑब्वियसली इट्स नॉट फेयर ना. इट्स हाउ कैन इट बी फेयर?
कि कंपनी का एज अ होल अगर कोई न्यू कमर आता है तो उसके लिए एक पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट होगा. तो दैट्स व्हाई अगर एज अ होल हम देखें तो चेंज करना चाहिए.
अगर आप डायरेक्टर हो एंड यू आर डूइंग वेरी गुड स्टफ फॉर द कंपनी, कंपनी हाई प्रॉफिट ले रही है, सब है, बट हम अपनी वजह से आपको ब्लेम करें, हम अपने बेनिफिट, नॉट फॉर द कंपनी, अपने बेनिफिट्स के लिए अगर एक माइनॉरिटी कुछ बोल रही है तो अदर पर्सन बोले कि हाँ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन ना हो, अली गलत है, तो इज इट फेयर?
अब
कर सकते हैं.
दूसरा एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं. लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड अनदर केस स्टडी. नाउ व्हाट्स हैपनिंग? पीटीआई, Imran Khan, is he all alone or somebody is supporting him? Any other party is supporting him?
Not really.
Not really. So all the other parties have joined together and Imran Khan's party is on one side, right? Now
Fine.
you tell me, because the other parties are voting against him or trying to kick him out, should he be kicked out? Or is it fair that before his term of state even got over, he was kicked out rato rat, just because the other parties got united and they just decided that no, we don't want it?
No.
it's not fair. So what would be the condition or principle or base upon which you are going to decide that is this fair or is this not fair? What is the what are the parameters?
like
किस बेस पे तुम डिसाइड करोगे कि भाई ये सब मिलके जो उसके खिलाफ खड़े हो गए हैं कौन सही है और कौन गलत है, कैसे डिसाइड करोगे?
कि वो जो डिसीजन है वो कंपनी के फेवर में है या अपने फेवर में?
एज अ होल
और
नेशन के फेवर में है, यानी कि
होल नहीं,
political-
क्योंकि भाई ज्यादा बेहतर या बेनिफिशियल डिसीजन पूरी कंट्री के लिए क्या होगा? क्या उसका साथ उसका होना होगा या किसी और का होना होगा? क्या उसको निकाल देने से पूरी कंट्री को ज्यादा बेनिफिट है या उसको रखने से ज्यादा बेनिफिट है? इसी तरह यहाँ पे भी वही सीन है कि किस डायरेक्टर को हम निकालें और किस डायरेक्टर को रखें। क्या सिर्फ चूंकि कोई दो लोग की टीमिंग हो गई है और वो निकालना चाह रहे हैं और इसलिए वो आर्टिकल्स को चेंज करके उसको निकाल दें, क्या ये जायज है? क्या ये वैलिड रीजन है? तो उसका पैरामीटर क्या होगा? क्या चीज ये डिसाइड
कंपनी के लिए क्या है?
है या नहीं है? तो ये चीज डिसाइड करेगी whether it's in the benefit of the company or not. If it's in the benefit of the company, it's valid. If it's not in the benefit of the company, then it's invalid. ठीक है, बात क्लियर है यहाँ पे?
अब क्लियर है मैम, थैंक यू।
ओके, नेक्स्ट, इंटरैक्शन ऑफ स्टैट्यूट एंड आर्टिकल्स। आर्टिकल्स और स्टैट्यूट, स्टैट्यूट मतलब कि स्टेट लॉ, आर्टिकल्स आर्टिकल्स ऑफ द कंपनी। अब दोनों में से भारी कौन है, स्टेट लॉ की आर्टिकल्स?
स्टेट लॉ।
State law, yani any point of time if you find that there is a rule in the articles which is conflicting with a rule in the state, then which one should be followed?
मैम here state means the country or the province?
Country.
Country ना, okay.
Okay, so the state law will be followed. Why? Because it is higher than the company. So the same things are written. If Ali, please read.
If a company articles restrict an activity that a company acts allow, then a company must alter the articles to remove the restriction before it may exercise the statutory power.
ठीक है जी, तो अगर कंपनी एक्ट अलाउ कर रही है तो आप वो कर सकते हैं। मतलब company articles restrict an activity that company act allows and the company must alter the articles to remove the restriction before it may exercise the statutory power. Because अगर एक स्टेट लॉ ने किसी चीज की इजाजत दी है तो आपकी कंपनी किस उसको मना क्यों कर रही है? आप कॉन्फ्लिक्ट क्यों क्रिएट कर रहे हो? आप यानी कि आप फिर अपनी चला रहे हो, आप बोल रहे हो कि स्टेट की कोई हैसियत नहीं है, गवर्नमेंट की कोई मायने नहीं रखते गवर्नमेंट के लॉस, क्योंकि आप तो उससे बढ़ के अपने लॉस बता रहे हो ना, और जो उन्हीं के खिलाफ खड़े। नेक्स्ट, द कंपनीज एक्ट विल ओवरराइड द आर्टिकल्स। अगेन सबसे पहला स्टेट लॉ हो गया, दूसरे नंबर पे कंपनीज एक्ट। कंपनीज एक्ट यानी कि ये भी तो स्टेट नहीं बनाया ना, कंपनीज एक्ट। ये अगर प्रोहिबिट कर रही है कोई चीज तो आपके आर्टिकल्स ऑफ एसोसिएशन उसको अलाउ नहीं कर सकते। एंड अगर आप चाह रहे हो कि कंपनीज एक्ट में कोई चीज आप डालना चाह रहे हो अपने तजुर्बे पे या कुछ, then only a special procedure is required for that. Company objects and capacity. Kinza.
A company's objects are its aim and purposes. If a company enters into a contract which is outside its object, the contract is said to be ultra vires. However, the right of third parties to the contract are protected. Their basic aim, the company's objects are its basic purpose and aims, whatever they have been focused on. But there can be other outside parties also involved, and that is called ultra vires.
क्या कह रहे हैं? अल्ट्रा वायर किसे कहते हैं?
द थर्ड पार्टीज जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के अंदर इन्वॉल्व हैं, जैसे कि अगर हम दो इंस्टीट्यूट और मैं, हम लोग कनेक्ट हैं, बट द थर्ड पर्सन लाइक द टीचर इज आल्सो इन द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, तो आई थिंक वो अल्ट्रा वायर्स हैं, और उनकी, या फिर आई एम द थर्ड पार्टी।
अली क्या समझ आई है?
मैम कि वी आर बाउंड टू लाइक प्रोटेक्ट द राइट्स ऑफ द थर्ड पार्टीज एज वेल, जो हमारे साथ इन फ्यूचर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर सकती हैं, हमें उनको भी एज अ होल कंसिडर करना चाहिए कोई भी डिसीजन में, अपने ऑब्जेक्टिव में।
नहीं, देखो, अल्ट्रा वायर्स का मतलब है अपने डोमेन से बाहर जाना। वो अपने डोमेन से बाहर जाने का क्या मतलब है? भाई, आपको बोला गया था एज अ स्टूडेंट F4 पढ़ना, वापस आ जाना।
हम्म।
आप ओवर स्मार्ट बन रहे हो और आप आ रहे हो, F4 पढ़ रहे हो और टीचर की गैर मौजूदगी में दूसरे स्टूडेंट्स को पढ़ाना शुरू कर दे रहे हो, और फिर स्टूडेंट्स को बोल रहे हो मेरे से पढ़ लो, मेरे से पढ़ लो, मैं तुम्हें सस्ते में पढ़ा दूंगा, ये क्या टीचर पढ़ाएगा तुम्हें। You are crossing your limits and you're going out of the boundaries. That is ultra wise. Same way it happens कि जब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किसी दो पार्टी के दरमियान होता है तो कुछ कंडीशंस तय कर लिए जाते हैं, कुछ बाउंड्रीज बना दी जाती हैं कि भाई इसमें रह के हमने काम करना है। ठीक है, आप हमें हमारे काम में इंटरफेयर नहीं करोगे, हम आपके काम में इंटरफेयर नहीं करेंगे। हमें जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स आपसे चाहिए वो हमने लिख दी हैं, आपको जो चाहिए वो आपने लिख दी हैं, एंड वी विल बी अबाइडिंग बाय देम। If I, as a party, try to violate my terms and conditions and try to be over smart and try to fulfill something which is not required or do something which is not required, not mentioned in the contract, it is said to be ultra vires. And एक और चीज, इसको इस तरह भी समझ सकते, गवर्नमेंट, ठीक है, गवर्नमेंट ने रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दी एक बॉडी को जिसका नाम है ए। इस बॉडी का काम है पोलियो के कतरे पिलाना सबको घर घर जाके, ठीक है, ये इसका काम है। अब ये बॉडी ओवर स्मार्ट ओवर एफिशिएंट बन के पोलियो के साथ साथ डेंगू के भी कतरे पिलाने लग जाए बच्चों को, तो डू यू थिंक दैट दे आर डूइंग व्हाट दे आर मेंट टू डू, और दे आर पोकिंग देयर नोज इन समथिंग एल्स?
They're poking their nose. But ma'am, what does this last line means? However, the right of the third parties to the contracts are protected.
राइट्स ऑफ द थर्ड पार्टीज, यानी अब ये ए का कसूर है ना कि ए ने अपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट से बढ़ के या आउट ऑफ इट्स डोमेन जाके काम किया, मगर ये डेंगू के कतरे किसको पिलाए? पब्लिक को।
Third party, जी,
थर्ड पार्टी,
public.
थर्ड पार्टी को गवर्नमेंट नहीं पकड़ेगी, थर्ड पार्टी को रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कोई नहीं है उसके सर पे। सारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बॉडी ए पे है कि व्हाई डिड इट क्रॉस द लिमिट्स। ओके, जितना बोला गया है आप उतना करें, आप क्यों एक्स्ट्रा स्मार्ट बन रहे हैं, ओवर एफिशिएंट बन रहे हैं? वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में एंटर ही क्यों हो रहे हैं जो आपके डोमेन का नहीं है, जिसकी अथॉरिटी आपके पास नहीं है? आपको ठेका दिया गया है सड़क बनाने का, आप क्यों गटर बनाने पे तुले हुए? गटर कंपनी अलग है, उसको अलग ठेका दिया हुआ है, वो पहले गटर की लाइनें लगाएगी, फिर आप ऊपर सड़क बनाना। आप उसके काम में टांग अड़ाओगे, अंदर घुसोगे, या उस बिला वजह वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट भी लोगे जिसकी आपकी एक्सपर्टीज भी नहीं है, तो यू आर डूइंग अल्ट्रा वायलेंस।
Okay.
नेक्स्ट, ऑब्जेक्ट्स समझ आ गए हमें। कैपेसिटी, कंपनीज में एक्ट इन अकॉर्डेंस विद देयर ऑब्जेक्ट्स। If the directors permit an act which is restricted by the company's objects, then the act is ultra vires. Again, मिशन क्या है कंपनी का, उसी पे चलना चाहिए। ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है कंपनी का, उसी पे चलना चाहिए। उससे बाहर जाके वो कोई और तरह के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन करने लगे, कोई और तरह के क्लाइंट्स को डील करने लगे, दिस इज कॉल्ड अल्ट्रा वायर्स।
Okay.
ठीक है, ये सब दोबारा दोबारा वही सारे रेपिटेशन है। Transactions with directors. The Companies Act. Kinza, please read.
The Company Act 2006 also applies when the company enters into a contract with one of its directors or its holding company or any person connected with such a director. Contracts made between the company and these parties are voidable by the company if the director acts outside their capacity. Whether or not the contract is avoided, the party or any authorizing director are liable to repay any profit they made or make good any losses that results from such a contract. Like for example, if I have a shop and somebody else, I've just asked somebody else to sit over there, and now what are they doing? They are just getting out of their limits, doing business on their own terms with any other person, making up the contracts using my name and making up the profit. So at that stage, it is not allowed, and they cannot do any transaction on my name, my company's name.
Exactly. Right. The constitution as a contract. The constitution as a contract, it's between the company and the members. That means the constitution of the company is what? Which document?
Article.
Articles of association is
Articles
constitution
of
of the company. So articles is treated as a constitution, and constitution is being said to be a contract. Contract between whom? Between company and members,
members.
between members and company, and between members and members. The articles do not constitute a contract between the company and the third parties. Point to be noted.
Yeah.
Or members in a capacity as other than members. All right, next, effect. A company's constitution binds members to company, company to members, members to members.
Members to members.
They do not bind the third parties. That's it. Okay, ji, you can just go through these as your case studies. It's just a repetition of the points, and you can just go through this in your when you're reading the chapter. Constitution as supplement to contracts. Like can a constitution, that means articles of association, be used as a supplement to contract? Supplement, that means don't make a contract between A and B and just use the constitution as the contract. Is it possible?
It's not a substitute.
It is a substitute, but only at some places. Can be used to establish the terms of a contract existing elsewhere. That means what? If an outsider makes a separate contract with the company and that contract contains no specific term on a particular point, but the constitution does, then the
Okay.
contract is deemed to incorporate the constitution to that extent.
Okay. Then it can be a substitute.
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में बहुत सारी चीजें क्लियरली मेंशन नहीं है, मगर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में बहुत डिटेल में मेंशन है, तो यही ट्रीट किया जाएगा कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट अकॉर्डिंग टू इट. Now, if contract incorporates terms of the articles, it is subject to the company's right to alter its articles. However, a company's articles cannot be altered to deprive another person of a right already earned, say for services rendered prior to alteration. अच्छा, अब इस पैरा से क्या समझ आ रहा है?
Prior to the article.
You are mute. बोला जा रहा है mute है.
Ali, you are mute.
Okay, so ma'am, if an outsider made a different contract, so and there is no any term mentioned, then the default assumption should be the same as the mention in the constitution.
Okay.
But
जो आपने कहा
unless it is mentioned.
पहले पैराग्राफ की बात थी.
Second paragraph. Yes, ma'am. Second भी बताऊं?
दूसरे पैराग्राफ की क्या कहानी है वो बताने का.
like अगर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में ही like आर्टिकल्स की जो बात हो रही है कि आर्टिकल्स से रिलेटेड कोई भी ऑल्ट्रेशन है, तो हम जो है ना उसको चेंज कर सकते हैं. उससे पहले जो है ना हमें सीनियर्स को भेजना पड़ेगा, वो चेंज नहीं हो सकते. The main is that.
Ma'am, actually they are saying कि अगर तो जैसे मैंने आपकी तरफ जॉब की and you told me that you have, if you are leaving a job and then you have to inform us a month before, but later now I have signed the agreement, everything is done, now you're saying no, you have to tell me before like 2 months. So now whatever it's I have already earned that right that only 1 month is required, but now you're changing it, so it cannot be done. The alteration after you can do it prior.
Exactly.
Not later.
Exactly, because the constitution is considered as the contract. It cannot happen that if there's a contract between A and B, and because A is the director of the company, in order to take advantage of his position, he might alter the articles so that the contract is twisted and turned for B. Okay, so that
Exactly.
A has the advantage and B does not get the advantage. But this cannot happen. They will be stopped from doing it because it's clear that they are doing it after the contract has been formed. And this is just going to violate B from his rights. Next, shareholder agreements. Shareholder agreement sometimes supplement a company's constitution. Yes, of course, because हर shareholder के साथ आप एक एक करके मुआयदा तो नहीं करते
Hmm.
ना. Big generally उसे
Exactly.
share issue कर देते हैं and that's it. That's good to go. And the articles state the rest of the terms and conditions. Company name, registered office, of course you need one. Statutory rules on the choice of company name. Yeah, it the same as an existing company on registrar's index. You can't choose the same name. You can't choose a name of the company which will be criminal offense or offensive or sensitive, like Osama bin Laden company. You can't name a company
True.
like that.
Hmm.
Okay, suggestive of a connection with the government or local authority. You can't use the name of government or local authority or any personality which indicates
Hmm.
that you are connected or your company is connected with the government or with some party. Okay, so you can't do all of this. Next, name must end with appropriate words, either public limited company or private limited company, whatever. Welsh equivalents. All right, the same points repeated. Omission of the word limited. If you omit this word, a primate. Ali, please read omission of the word limited. Read, Ali.
Right? Okay, a private company which is a charity or a company limited by the shares or guarantee and licensed to do so before 25 February 1982 may omit the word limited from its name in the following condition are satisfied. A. The object of the company must be promotion of either commerce, arts, or education related thing. B. The memorandum or articles must require that the profit or other income of the company are to be applied promoting its objective and no dividend or return capital may be paid to its member.
जी क्या कह रहे हैं?
The article must not be altered so that the company status to omit limit is lost.
सो यहाँ पे एक बात समझ आ गई. कौन सी बात समझ आ गई? कि भाई प्राइवेट कंपनी अगर चैरिटी है या कंपनी लिमिटेड बाय शेयर्स या गारंटी है और उसके पास लाइसेंस भी है काम करने का, बिफोर 25 फरवरी 1982 इट वाज अलाउड कि वो अपना लिमिटेड का वर्ड अपने नाम के आगे ना यूज करे.
Hmm.
But
हटा दे.
only for the company who was licensed before 25 February 1982. But after that, you have to use you have to use the name limited. Okay. And secondly, promotion कर रही है कंपनी आर्ट और तो भी उसको चैरिटी कर रही है तो तब भी उसको इजाजत थी और प्रॉफिट्स जो थे वो सिर्फ अप्लाई टू प्रमोटिंग है. मतलब कोई बट ये जो भी कहानी है ना ये सब इस डेट से पहले थी. इसके बाद everything is changed. Change of name, you can change the name by passing a special resolution or by other means provided in the articles. Registrar को inform करना जरूरी है और change is effective from when a new incorporation certificate is issued. Why? जब आप नाम change कर रहे हो तो birth certificate में भी तो change होगा ना नाम. तो birth certificate क्या है?
उसके बाद ही आप यूज कर सकते हो.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. Passing of action. What is passing of action? पहले भी हम पढ़ चुके हैं पिछले चैप्टर में.
जब भी हम अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज दूसरे को दे रहे होते हैं.
Hilza. We have studied these terms. Passing of action. In tort. In what is passing off? Ali, what is passing off?
ओके, जब हम दूसरी कंपनी को दे रहे, दूसरी कंपनी हमारा, we are just selling our company to the other person, other company. They are taking our name and
Using name of a branded company and creating your own fake company.
using the similar brand name, yes.
Similar brand name, duplicate copies. Nike का नाम use करके Nike CENKEE, ठीक है? So that is passing on.
Modeling purpose.
Appeal to the company names adjudicators. That means agar if a company feels that another company's name is too similar to its own, may object to the company's name's adjudicator under the Companies Act. This you need to learn. Okay. कि भैया अगर किसी कंपनी को ऑब्जेक्शन होता है कि भाई दूसरी कंपनी मेरे ही जैसा ही नाम यूज कर रही है, तो वो रिपोर्ट कर सकता है. And the educator will review the case and within 90 days will make the decision कि भाई कौन सच्चा कौन झूठा, will provide the reasons for it in public. And या तो फिर चेंज होगा नाम उसका, या फिर may determine the new name, कुछ खुद ही से न्यू नाम करके उसको दे देंगे. ओके जी, आगे बढ़ते हैं. पब्लिकेशन ऑफ द कंपनीज नेम. पब्लिश भी होगा, जाहिर है रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस में भी पता चलेगा, बिजनेस लेटर्स में भी आएगा, रसीदें, इनवॉइसेस, बिल्स ऑफ एक्सचेंज, वेबसाइट, हर जगह नाम चेंज होगा. बिजनेस नेम्स अदर देन द कॉर्पोरेट नेम. कॉर्पोरेट नामों के अलावा कोई और बिजनेस नेम्स क्या हो सकते हैं?
Ma'am, I have a question.
यस.
Ma'am, for example, if we change the name, for example, we change our name, so it is reported in the national like newspapers. So what documents or what articles are used to publish the things of the company? Then in what publications it should be reported? Like there must be some official
जो भी उस
to inform the investment.
like in today's time, what will you do? In today's time, you might announce it in the news channels. You might announce it in the newspaper.
and it depends on the nature of the business, to be honest. If it's like,
Exactly.
what is the nature of
Of course, when you will change the billboard, everybody will come to know. When you will change the name on the website, everybody will come to know. Like you know that company, very famous, Fair and Lovely. Okay, how they changed their name to Fair and Glow? Why? Because their name was very discriminating. Fair and Lovely. That means being fair is something superior to being not fair, as in complexion.
Yeah.
Right? So they changed their name to Glow and Lovely.
और मैम इसलिए भी दे चेंज, समटाइम्स कंपनी चेंज देयर नेम बिकॉज उनका जो आफ्टर लाइक फ्यू इयर्स आपको टैक्स भी बहुत ज्यादा देना पड़ता है. तो लेटर ऑन ये भी एक स्ट्रैटेजी होती है कि अगर आप लाइक यू आर इन अ फील्ड फॉर मोर देन 5 years, then a tax slab you are following is a different one. So people do change name, the companies and organizations.
ऐसा होता है यूके में? I don't have.
यहाँ 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 पे मोस्टली हो रहा होता है. तभी वो जैसे जो लोग ज्यादा अर्न करते हैं, दे हैव टू पे मोर टैक्सेस ना. So later on, what they do, they just try to close up the company, make up a new one, put up a similar name. They do that. It's a loophole.
It happens. इसको क्या कहते हैं? Phoenix companies ही तो कहते हैं. एक कंपनी को वाइंड अप किया, सेम बिजनेस दूसरी जगह.
Exactly.
Phoenix company.
और फिर वो शो किया कि it's a new business and
सब कुछ नहीं हो रहा है.
obviously फिर उसके साल तो they have to bear a very minimum amount of tax. Yeah.
All right, registered office, आप जाहिर है अपना ऑफिस भी डिक्लेयर करोगे, रजिस्टर कहाँ पे है आपका ऑफिस एंड ऑल. ठीक है जी, तो हमारा ये चैप्टर कंप्लीट है. एनी क्वेश्चन स्टिल हियर? नो क्वेश्चंस. वेरी गुड.
No.
तो मुझे बताओ, फीफा वर्ल्ड कप का वो वीडियो किसने देखी है? द इनॉग्रेशन सेरेमनी.
उसकी वो वाली अमेजिंग, जबरदस्त. आजकल तो फीफा कतर वतर सब यही ऑन है, डिस्कशंस.
हाँ अली, आपने देखी है?
मैम थोड़ी सी देखी थी,
थोड़ी सी क्यों?
बट वो हर जगह दिखी रही थी, तो आई वाज लाइक
क्या है ये?
फ्रस्ट्रेटेड. लाइक
थक
हर
गए देख
हर
देख
जगह वही
के.
चल रहा था, तो 30 सेकंड्स 1 मिनट की देखी होगी, देन मैंने लीव कर ली. मैचेस की हाइलाइट जरूर देखी है सारी. कल भी वो अपसेट हुआ था जर्मनी का, वो हार गई पता नहीं कैसे.
सही. आपके उसको क्या हो गया? चोट लग गई पैर में?
हाँ मैम, वो बाइक में आ गया था पैर पैर उसको बेचारे का, तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ही इज फाइन नाउ. शुक्र ज्यादा स्क्रैचेस आए थे सिर्फ थोड़े से लाइक मुझे बहुत डर लग रहा था कि खुदा न खास्ता कुछ, तो मैं भागा था उसको लेके हॉस्पिटल में। फिर पॉइंट्स अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह इट्स लाइक completely fine, just a rest of a week you can say.
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, दैट्स ग्रेट कि ज्यादा चोट नहीं आई। अच्छा जी।
क्योंकि मैं सुना ना, मैं फॉरेन से डर गया, मैंने कहा पता नहीं टायर में आ गया क्या हो गया, मैं भाग के गया, मैंने शुक्र
खैर आ जाए,
एवरीथिंग इज गुड।
मामूली बात है।
छोटा
अब
बच्चा है ना, वो हिलाते रहता है पीछे बैठ के, तो अब तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सेट है।
all right, so now we are left with part E, and we are just left with two more chapters of part F, that is other company officers and company meetings and resolutions. I asked you to go through chapter 18 yourself. Have you gone through it?
Not yet, ma'am. We'll go today.
अच्छे बच्चे।
No, I would say like alternate days पे आप क्लास कर लें तो बहुत ज्यादा बेहतर है, कि आप थोड़ा ज्यादा ना हमारे एंड सब ज्यादा पढ़ना है।
नहीं मैम, बिल्कुल फ्लो हमारा जो वो एक मजे का फ्लो बना होता है ना, वो डिस्टर्ब हो जाएगा अगर ऑल्टरनेट डेज होंगे।
चलो ठीक है,
मतलब
ठीक है। फिर कोर्स खत्म होने के बाद लाइक लाइक
और
पार्ट वाइज ना, लाइक
ना,
पार्ट ए
नहीं, बट
डिस्कशन
एवरी डे भी अगर इफ वी जस्ट गिव 2 hours आई थिंक रीडिंग, तो आई थिंक इट्स गोइंग टू बी इनफ। इतना तो निकल ही आता है टाइम।
2 hours बहुत ज्यादा बोल रही हो, 1 hour is more than
वही तो बोल
ओके,
रहा हूँ।
वन भी या
in the class. 1 hour you give to your self study, but daily 1 hour, so that will not make it very hectic for you, and also it will not pile up so much at the end of the course कि भाई इतना lengthy सारा कैसे करेंगे, and you will see कि आपके जो notes है ना, it will be life saver for you which you are making right now, if you are
ट्रू।
making.
जो बुलेट पॉइंट्स हैं, दे वर्क अ लॉट, स्पेशली एट द एंड ऑफ द, जब एग्जाम्स आर नियर, सो इट वर्क्स लाइक
उस
एनीथिंग।
वक्त बुक खोल के आपका दिल नहीं चाहेगा इतना बड़ा चैप्टर।
एग्जैक्टली, और बुक खोल के स्ट्रेस भी हो रहा होता है, तो बेटर टू फोकस ऑन द बुलेट पॉइंट्स जो बनाए हुए होते हैं।
Bullet points you can highlight on your textbook, कुछ major definition,
Yeah.
कुछ something, some dates, anything that you need to learn, that can also help you. ठीक है जी। अच्छा, ये कल फिर हमारी एक क्लास होगी, and then I think the next week will be our last week probably, because just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chapters to go.
ओके
I hope you guys are, Saturday, Sunday off होता है. You guys can give good time on weekends as well. So do
you must go give good
catch up
time.
with your previous chapters. Do catch up on the weekend with your previous chapters, and do keep up
Okay.
the study, because I don't want you guys to have a mountain in front of you after we finish the.
Sure.
Okay. And I think I gave you a date also for a second test. Did I or did I?
You
You
didn't.
did say anything, but I don't remember. I think it's 26. It's
I asked
already 26.
the test. Miss Rimsha, did I give them test? Yes, 26. 26, na? And which chapters? Part D and C. Part C and D. This is a reminder. C and D test you have, test 2 on 26th.
Okay.
B and C. B.
Tomorrow,
B.
tomorrow's timing, ma'am?
Ball and cat ना, यार तो नॉर्मल मैंने कहा ये तो मैंने अभी खत्म किया है, इन बेचारों को अभी से क्यों ये देते। B and C.
और मैम, आप कितने ओबीडियंट स्टूडेंट्स हैं, हमने कुछ बोला भी नहीं। आपने बोला डी, तो हमने कहा सही है।
बैठे होंगे, टेस्ट भी कोई नाम की चीज है।
मैंने कहा अभी खत्म किया है। ओके ठीक है।
ठीक है,
ओके
अच्छी बात है। अच्छा जरा ये करो, there is a research which says that there is a brain gym, you do brain gym. How you do it? Like this. Can you see me?
yes ma'am. Ma'am, but good.
Okay, this is my hand. So on the count of 1, start doing this. Can you see?
Okay, like we're doing like
Yes, 1, 2, 3,
fighting.
1, 2, 3, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
1, 2, 3 forward, 1, 2, 3 backward, right?
Then do the similar with your index. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now do the similar with the middle finger. 1, 2,
It's
3.
getting hard.
Without leaving other fingers. Without leaving other fingers. All the other fingers
Oh.
must be joined. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and then reverse. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now do with the ring finger. Okay. 1. Oh my God, my fingers are slipping. 1, 2.
Yeah, it's getting a bit tough with the
Okay.
ring finger.
Then with your pinky finger. 1, 2, 3.
That's easy.
1, 2, 3. Okay. How did you enjoy? Like,
It was fun.
शुरू में आसान था, बाद में मुश्किल. Even I get stuck. See, it needs a lot of control. It is said that the brain has two hemispheres. Okay, the right brain and the left brain. So with the right brain, you control the left side of your body. And with your left brain, you control the right side of your body.
Right side. Yeah.
Okay. So there is one more very funny thing. Okay, let's just try it. Okay. First you do like this. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2.
What is it like? Raising hands?
Just make a fist. Make it go up.
Oh,
Come down. Go up. Come down. Go up. Come down. Okay. Simple. Easy. Now here with your open hand. Forward. Backward. Forward. Backward. Forward. Backward. Okay. Now do both of them simultaneously. Okay.
okay. Like the 70s.
Can you do it exactly like this? Or it's go you put it,
I will see,
see? It's really tricky. It's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Um there was one thing. Right. Close your nose, and try to hum. Okay. Like you hum, right? So now close with your nose closed. Don't
Yes.
try to do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you do it?
Yes, ma'am. We can do it.
No. It's interesting that you cannot hum with your nose closed. Can't. Really can.
Getting faint.
Okay. So coming back to the subject. Okay. So it's all for today, folks. That's all for today. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Allah Hafiz.
Oh, let's leave.